So welcome to the round 3 video for this week. Should be good, I'm excited. And yeah, I had a good week. So I scored 259. No, I'm ranked 259 and I scored 2,387. Can't complain, had a good week. I did trade Isaac Heeney. It was a mistake. There's not much point defending it. His role has changed slightly, and his ankle is fine. I think I overplayed that injury, but yeah, I got Boak in, which was good, but yeah, wasn't much reason to trade him. He plays Melbourne next week, who are the worst defence in the league right now. So yeah, I'm not going to watch that game. I'm going to do something else on, I think it's Thursday night. Yeah, I'm not watching that. So yeah, also shout out to the Discord. Our league is ranked number 1 at the moment, so pretty happy with that. If you want to join Discord, feel free. Bit of banter, a bit of some good advice. I think we have some good players there, so yeah, it's good fun. Anyway, onto the team. Yeah, I'm really sorry if you traded Heeney and copied me. If you did, I hope you got Boak or Kelly. But yeah, Heeney's role's changed a little bit, but I don't think it's going to affect his scoring too much. So yeah. So onto my team. I might zoom in on this. So D1 is Wayne Miller. Pretty happy with how he's playing. He's playing really well. Just accumulating a lot, and he tackled a lot on the weekend, which was nice. Not a must-have by any stretch of the imagination, but I need him to stay in touch or not score too far behind Lloyd and Whitfield. So yeah, happy with the Miller pick. Zach Williams is doing fine as well, so a little bit worried. This is the 4th knock he's gotten in a game in the past 6 games for him. Hopefully he stays fit. It'd be a disaster if a player at 400k gets an injury. Sorry to all the Rockcliffe owners out there. I nearly picked him at the start of the year. But yeah, Williams is doing fine. And Brodie Smith, I wouldn't be trading Brodie Smith. He really struggles against teams like Hawthorn and Geelong. I don't know why, he just does. So yeah, don't worry about Smith. He'll pull out 100 sooner rather than later. So yeah. And the rookies, their job is basically score 60 plus every week, and they're doing that, making a bit of money. So yeah, happy with the rookies. Hopefully Haw comes back this week. I think Melbourne need to do something about their defence. Now the midfield was very good. Yeah, Jackson McRae, 130 points in 3 quarters. So yeah, he's repeating last year. And this is why I said I was too scared to start without him, because if he does what he did last year again, he's going to be impossible to get in. And he looks like he's doing that. So yeah, you probably need to get McRae in. If you don't have him, I think you need to wait. But yeah, he's doing his job. Hopefully he doesn't have any bad games, so he stays at a high price for people like me who own him. Patrick Cripps was amazing, as usual. Oh, he's averaging higher than McRae. That's interesting. So yeah, very good captain option every week. Lots of contested possessions. I say the same thing every week. Now I have Lockie Neal. I didn't expect Neal to play like this. I thought he would improve a bit, but not this much. Back-to-back games of 43 touches. I mentioned it last week. He's being mentored by the same guy Tom Mitchell was mentored by. So yeah, he's just playing unreal at the moment. I'll talk about him in the agenda. It's going to be very hard to get him in. It's a bit like the McRae scenario last year. But yeah, playing unreal at the moment. Plays Essendon this week. They played okay on the weekend, but probably want to use him as a captain or vice captain. We'll see what happens. And yeah, Matt Crouch is very good. He's just does the same thing most weeks. Just accumulates all day. So hopefully 115 plus from him. And yeah, Rory Sloane hasn't reached the heights of round 1, but playing really well for the Crows. So the day is coming when he gets tagged, and it's going to be very bad for me, but hopefully he offsets that with a few big scores. Now Jack Steele, sorry to quote Drake here, but I thought I bought the dream, but I actually got sold one. And by that I mean I thought he was going to not tag anymore. Apparently not. So he's tagging, and he can still score okay in the tagging role, but he scores more when he's not tagging. I think I'm just stuck with him. He's still averaging 100, which is fine, and his dream team was 115, I think. So he had a poor DT to SC ratio, but I really like Still, but it's just frustrating that he's not playing the role I thought he was going to play. He said he wasn't going to tag in the preseason, and anyway, happens. Yeah, rookies were very good. Walsh was good, Constable was good. So yeah, in regards to the midfield, I don't think we're going to touch the midfield, barring injury, for quite a while. We need to work on upgrades in defence and in the forward line, so it's good. Gordon Grundy, in round 1 I had some doubts, to be honest, but bounced back and playing unbelievable at the moment. So I think pretty safe to say they're going to be, barring injury or something dramatic, they'll be 1 and 2 this top 2 ruckman this year. And yeah, up forward we have Dangerfield captain. I just took the points. Wanted to go for McRae, but didn't. I have Trevor Spoke. I'll speak about him in the agenda. He's playing really good at the moment. He was tagged in the first half and then scored nearly, I think, 80 points in the second half. Tim Kelly, it's just unbelievable. I traded Heeney to Kelly. Not the fact that Heeney played well, but the fact that Tim Kelly did an injury in the fourth quarter. I think he's fine. Just a minor ankle injury, but we'll see what happens. But hopefully he's okay. And yeah, Darcy Moore's doing fine. And the forward rookies are a big problem. They are not making much money. Drew's doing fine, Parker's doing okay, but they all have very low floors. Now Drew has is getting less mid-time, I think, because of Ollie Wines. That's a problem. I think you still play him on field, and Setterfield might need a spell, I think. And Bolter's doing nothing for me, so yeah, he'll be lucky to make his break even, which is like 25. So yeah, so overall with the team, again I say this every week, it's the players I don't have. Libba is killing me, like straight up. He's the number 1 problem at the moment. I can't believe how well he's playing, and it was a mistake not picking him. So yeah, also no Lloyd and Whitfield. The thing is, Lloyd and Whitfield are probably scoring 15-20 above their price point, which is still bad for me, and that's really good for people that have them. But Lib is scoring like, I don't know, 50 or 60 above his price point, and that's killing me. And he made 80k this week, probably going to make another 150k at least. So I don't know what to do with the Libba. It's really bad for me. So anyway, those 3 are big problems for me, but we'll see what happens. Anyway, so on to the agenda. First one on the agenda is Libba. Kind of just spoke about him. I think this is the last week to get him in if you want. It's a really tough one, because if Libba turns out to be a keeper, I'm pretty much screwed. So my only play is to go from Steele to Libba, and yeah, I don't think I want to do that, to be honest. I don't like the sound of trading down Steele. But if Libba turns out to be a keeper, I think it's possible. I didn't think it would happen. It would be a good win, because I'm banking 140k. But yeah, this would be the last week to get Libba in. After this week, probably not. Probably should have got him last week, but yeah, not much you can do about this. So yeah, playing unreal at the moment. So many clearances on the week today. He did play Gold Coast midfield, who aren't that great. So he plays Collingwood this week. Doubt he goes 150 again. But I think I just have to sit back and hope for the best. So yeah, good job if you got Libba. Next guy is Lockie Neal. It's the same thing as McRae last year. There's not much you can really do about it. I traded in McRae for 700k. It was a mistake because he got injured, but he was probably worth 700k last year. And I think the question is, do you think Libba is going to continue this form? I think he's going to average he looks like a 125 guy. So if you can get him in this week, I would, to be honest, even though you've missed the 177. He's going to be more expensive. Actually, I think it's just too much to compromise, so it's a really difficult situation. But yeah, Neil is definitely the real deal. Neil or no deal is, yes, he is the real deal. So yeah, I as a non-owner, I'm not sure what to do because it's just a lot of compromise to get him in. If you can get him in one trade, I would do it, which is probably impossible. So yeah, depends on who you've got. So yeah, get Neil in when you can. That's my opinion on Neil. As long as it's not too much compromise, but he's going to be a must-have, and you want him sooner rather than later. Now Lloyd and Whitfield, clear 1 and 2 defenders right now. So I think the best play for non-Lloyd and Whitfield owners, just sit back and hope they put in a bad score, or sideways a bad premium to them if you believe that premium is really bad. Although I shouldn't really talk about sidewaysing premiums this week because of Heeney, but yeah, I don't know what to do with Lloyd. I mean, I do know what to do with them. I think what I do is I wait and prioritize them as upgrades. So yeah, both Whitfield's probably scoring a bit higher than he should be, whereas Lloyd is probably scoring at what he should be right now. So yeah, I would wait on those two, but good job if you pick them. So Dunkley, what do we do with Dunkley? The problem with Dunkley, he's probably like 5th or 6th down the pecking order in terms of Bulldogs midfielders behind Wallace, McRae, Dunkley, Libba. I don't know if Hunter plays much inside, but there's Hunter as well. So that's the main problem. His mid-time was reduced this week. So I think you have to make the call. Do you think he's going to get much more mid-time? I don't think he will. And you don't want to be stuck with a bad premium. That's why I know trading premium sideways is bad, but you don't want to be stuck with a bad one, right? So, yeah. Another thing, maybe I'm just trying to convince you to trade him, but Toby McLean said at the start of the year, for the first half of the season, he will play forward. So the way I interpret that is, that says to me that he's been promised that he's going to play midfield in the second half of the year. Whether that actually happens, I don't know. But yeah, that would mean bad things for Dunkley, you would think. So if you can, I would actually get him to Boak, to be honest. I know that's a really aggressive move, but I think if Dunkley doesn't get enough mid-time like he did this week, that's really, really bad for you. So if you've used too many trades, then you might have to hold and hope he comes good, but there's a chance that this pick bombs if he doesn't get the mid-time. That's the main issue. So it might not be the right call trading him, but that's the risk you take keeping him if he doesn't get mid-time. So that's my opinion on Dunkley. Next guy I'll talk about is Travis Boak. He's playing unbelievable at the moment. The thing with Travis Boak is he had a few down years a few years ago. I think he had off-field problems. But last year he averaged 88 playing almost exclusively forward. That's pretty good for someone playing a lot forward. And this year he's the main man in the Port midfield right now. So I would get him in. I think this is the real deal. And yeah, he was tagged in the first half and still went ballistic in the second half. I like Travis Boak a lot. I would get him in. He can score really quickly, and no doubt he's extremely fit. He just runs all day. So yeah, disposal was a bit but he can still score pretty well. So I would get Boak now. He's going to rise in about 20 to 30k this year, this week. I think he's already risen about 40k. So I know you've missed the points, but even if you got 100 average from here on out, which I think is very possible, you would still take that. So I do like Travis Boak. If you can't get him in, you can't get him in, but personally, if you're Dunkley, I would go to Trevor Spoke, in my opinion. Of course, there's risks. We know what happened with Heeney for me this week and for 22,000 other coaches. But that's the risk you take. There's risk holding, there's risk trading. It's up to you. Also, we have Rory Laird. So Laird is doing okay. The main problem is the guys at his price point, which was Lloyd, I guess Whitfield as well, who was a bit cheaper, are completely outperforming him. So I think Laird is not going to average 108 like last year. I think maybe with Smith and Miller in the team, there's just too many points to go around in defence. So I think, I'm not sure what he'll average. I would say 95 to 105, anywhere between there. Wouldn't surprise me if he did less than 100. I think you just have to hold. There's not much you can do about trading him. So I think, yeah, he'll probably pull out the old 140 because he's so good. So yeah, and he did get tagged 1 week. So yeah, just hold Laird. There's not much reason to trade him. So also, I've got to touch on two more. Rockcliffe and Fife. It's just unfair. I know people that don't have him would be, I'd say, happy that they got injured. Not happy in Supercoach terms because it's good for their ranking, but it's really disappointing because I remember I had Jake Lloyd a few years ago, traded him in, got knocked out straight away, and it's just really unfortunate. That's the only way to put it. Because Rockcliffe played at Richmond, who look like they won't have Cochin or Dustin Martin this week, and North in round 6. And yeah, Fife was in unbelievable form as well. So it's really rough from that perspective, but the reality is you have to make a decision on what to do with them. So what would I do? The problem with concussions is they're probably not going to play very well for the next month. They'll probably both miss this week, maybe. See what happens. I'm not sure. I wouldn't rule out trading them because when they have a concussion, yeah, they're going to play bad for the next few weeks. And if you're going for overall, do you want to carry those poor points? If you've used a lot of trades, probably hold. If you've saved lots of trades, or saved most of your trades, then it's up to you whether you want to trade them. I'm not against trading them. I think the general consensus will be probably hold. I would probably hold it, but yeah, there is that risk that they don't play well for a few games. Because both of their concussions, they were bad concussions. They were pretty heavy hits. So yeah, it's really unfortunate, but if it means getting like a Lockie Neal in, maybe trade them. Otherwise, probably hold. But yeah, it's a really tough decision, and it's just bad luck. It's part of the game, and I'm sure it'll happen to one of my players, or it will happen to other players throughout the season. So yeah, unfortunate. And the two rookies I'll touch on. So Sydney, is it Sydney Stack? I can't remember. Just say Stack. 102 mid rookie, looked really good for Richmond. Richmond have injuries, so probably get him in next week. And also Connor Rosie. Couldn't believe how well he played against Brisbane. It's too late for Connor Rosie now, but if you got him, well done. Yeah, really good pick. Didn't think... the thing with the rookies this year, like the first round draft picks, usually they don't score very well, but this year was kind of a super draft, so we're seeing Dersma, Butters, Rosie, Walsh, Clark, all these guys are playing really, really well, whereas most years this doesn't really happen with first round draft picks from the previous year. Anyway, that's the video. Should be good this week. Don't think we'll trade this week. Not much reason to trade. But yeah, anyway, thanks for watching, and we'll see you soon. Good luck this week.